Hello there, I'm Shafika Razali and thanks for joining me this Thursday on 7Edition. Tonight's top stories. Police begins probe on alleged minister's sex video. Dato' Lee Chong Wei announces retirement from badminton. And 4 more orang Asli remains found. Good evening. We begin tonight's bulletin with this story. Police have opened an investigation paper in connection with the widely circulated sex video which allegedly involved a federal minister. Inspector General of Police Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid Bado said so far authorities have received only one report over the viral clip. Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid said police will summon several individuals to facilitate investigations into the case.
Kali ada laporan yang dibuat, kita timbang kalau ada suatu kesalahan yang kita akan buka kertas siasatan dan selepas itu pegawai penyiasat akan jalankan ambil langkah untuk menjalankan siasatan.
It was believed that the sex video was linked to Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali. However, yesterday he strongly denied the allegation by an individual who attempted to implicate him in the viral clip. The PKR Deputy President also described the move as a nefarious plot to assassinate his reputation and character in an attempt to destroy his political career. In Putrajaya, the political secretary to the Economic Affairs Minister, Hilman Idham, lodged a police report over the spread of the sex video allegedly involving Datuk Sri Azmin and another man. Hilman, who is also PKR Deputy Youth Chief, arrived at the District Police Headquarters at 10:35 a.m. with several youth members and left about an hour later. He then went to the Federal Territory Islamic Religious Department, Jawi, at Complex Islam Putrajaya to also lodge a Kazaf report on the matter.
Tuduhan palsu dan fitnah jahat yang dibuat ke atas Yang Berhormat Menteri Haliwal Ekonomi. Saya telah menyerahkan laporan saya kepada pihak polis dan saya juga telah dirakam percakapan saya sebagai saksi oleh pihak polis dan kita akan memberikan kerjasama yang terbuka kepada pihak polis dan Jawi di atas segala siasatan yang akan dilakukan. InsyaAllah saya yakin dan saya ingin menegaskan sekali lagi pendirian saya bahawa keyakinan kami ini merupakan suatu tuduhan palsu dan fitnah jahat yang diadakan untuk mencemarkan reputasi dan nama baik serta kepribadian Yang Berhormat Menteri Haliwal Ekonomi.
He pointed out that the allegation was an evil conspiracy to block Datuk Sri Azmin's political journey as well as the success of his ministry. Yesterday, the individual claiming to be involved in the video made a sworn statement in a video that he was involved in the intimate act with Datuk Sri Azmin. The individual, believed to be Muhammad Haziq Abdul Aziz, the senior private secretary to the Deputy Primary Industries Minister, also claimed that the video was recorded on May 11th in a hotel room in Sandakan, Sabah. Speaking to reporters, Hilman admitted to meeting Muhammad Haziq at a hotel in Putrajaya as disclosed in the latter's Facebook account today. However, the political secretary to the Economic Affairs Minister declined to elaborate on the meeting and will hand the matter over to the police to carry out its probe.
Betul? Tak apa, saya dah serahkan semua details itu, maklumat itu kepada polis. Kita beri ruang untuk polis siasat.
Muhammad Haziq, via his latest Facebook post, claimed to have met Hilman at the hotel's restaurant on the day he uploaded his sworn statement on social media. He claimed that Hilman had forced him to deny Datuk Sri Azmin's involvement in the sexually explicit pornographic video and had asked him to lie on the matter. Malayan Banking Berhad Maybank today disclosed that a fund transfer document allegedly involving a local bank and related to a cabinet minister was forged. The bank's spokesperson said it did not issue the document purportedly involving the transfer of funds. The bank told Bernama that the account number stated on the document was invalid. As such, Maybank said it would be taking the necessary action to protect its interest. A copy of the document, which has been making its rounds on social media, claimed that a sum of money belonging to UEM Group Berhad was transferred to the minister's account through a Maybank account. Yesterday, UEM Group Berhad also denied allegations that it was involved in the transfer of the money. In Kelantan, 4 more remains of the Batik Orang Asli community who allegedly died due to a mysterious illness in Kampung Kuala Koh were discovered today. This brings the total number of bodies recovered by authorities to 8. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Senator P. Waitamurthy, said police have also identified the remains believed to have died from lung infection.
Buat masa kini, PDRM telah dapat mengenal pastilah 8 daripada 12 mayat yang dikemumikan. Jadi kita sedang mengesan 4 lagi lah. Jadi dalam masa beberapa hari ini saya percaya akan dapat dikenal pasti dan pihak forensik pula akan mengambil sedikit masa kerana proses untuk ekstrak mayat tersebut perlu dibuat secara berhati-hati.
He added that 49 orang asli are still being treated and 4 were sent to Kuala Krai Hospital and Gua Musang Hospital for further treatment. 15 out of 37 patients at the Gua Musang Hospital also have been discharged and transferred to the Orang Asli homestay managed by the Health Ministry in the district for follow-up treatment. Meanwhile, the 3-year-old Orang Asli boy who is infected with pneumonia is in critical but stable condition. The senator said the child, Nasri Rosli, from the Batik tribe, is now at the Raja Perempuan Zainab II Hospital's Pediatric Intensive Care Unit.
The boy was previously admitted to the Kuala Krai Hospital on Sunday, but was later transferred to the hospital in Kota Baru. The boy's father, 30-year-old Rosli Jong, was also warded at the same hospital since Sunday after he was suspected of contracting pneumonia.
Saya amat berpuas hati dengan rawatan rapi yang diberikan oleh pihak hospital kepada kanak-kanak ini dan juga saya juga kagumlah dengan komitmen dan juga rawatan dan personal care yang diberikan oleh pihak hospital.
Waitamurthy was speaking after visiting the father and son at the Raja Perempuan Zainab II Hospital today. According to doctors, Rosli also has shown signs of recovery and is expected to be discharged soon.
A 61-year-old woman from Pending Kuching is the latest rabies fatality in Sarawak since it was detected on June 2017. Health Department Director Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said in a statement that the woman was previously bitten by a wild dog on April 29th on her right thumb while she was trying to chase it away. Reportedly, she did receive initial treatment at a clinic but did not get a follow-up. Following this, the victim was admitted into the infectious disease ward at a Sarawak Government Hospital on June 8th. She was confirmed to be infected with rabies after a laboratory test was done by Institute for Medical Research IMR. She died at 10:47 last night, increasing the total detected rabies victim to 19, with 18 recorded deaths. Her death is the third reported this year. Currently, there are 62 locations in 11 districts of Sarawak that has rabies infection, while only Limbang remains free of the infection. After the break, Justin Bieber leaves Twitter town baffled over fight challenge. Details next. Welcome back. Former world number one Datuk Lee Chong Wei has formally announced his retirement from badminton, saying it's time after a 90-year illustrious career as Malaysia's top shuttler. In an emotional media conference today, he said he had to hang up his racket for good due to his health following his battle with cancer. The 37-year-old Datuk Lee said he was left with no option after his recent consultation with doctors last month. He was diagnosed with early-stage nose cancer last year and had undergone intensive treatment in Taiwan.
I want to do this decision is very tough because after I get the treatment back, I just back in the court for the 6 months. I want to try again, and I don't want to keep me in my spirit, want to play. I think after my treatment, I just call retire, and I want to try again. And after my trainer just give me a lot of 8 questions, and call my doctor right back for my trainer, and he just encouraged me, just tell me I think you need the rest, and I just do this very tough decision, and my family, I think this is the time I must step down. To my career, 19 years in the national team, and I think it's more important now is my health. Yeah.
Joining him at the media conference were Youth and Sports Minister Syed Saddiq Syed Abdul Rahman and Badminton Association of Malaysia BAM President Datuk Sri Nurza Zakaria. The 3-time Olympic silver medalist said he would now like to rest and spend time with his family and even take his wife on a honeymoon, a trip that has been delayed since their marriage in 2012.
And more important, I want to thank my family, my wife. It's more important. And last, I want to thank you, Malaysia. No Malaysian, no Chong Wei, and 19 years in the national team. And all the way fighting for my country. Thank you.
Datuk Lee also thanked the media for their support, as well as those who had been following his career for almost 2 decades, during which he had spent a total of 348 weeks as the world number one. Meanwhile, in recognition of Datuk Lee's 19-year service for the country, Syed Saddiq announced his appointment as the country's chef de mission to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Datuk fly the Malaysian flag proudly, not in stadiums, by watching through the television. Dan saya agak yakin banyak generasi, banyak rakyat Malaysia juga melalui pengalaman yang sama. Dan Datuk Lee Chong Wei is a hero to all Malaysians, from all backgrounds, all ethnicities, all religions. While he may have retired, but after talking to Datuk Lee and also to Datuk Sri Nurza, we have decided collectively to nominate Datuk Lee Chong Wei as the next chef de mission for the Tokyo Olympics.
As for the BAM, the nation will miss seeing Datuk Lee on the badminton court. Not only fans, but all Malaysians who will always be proud of his sacrifices and achievements.
I don't know, there's no real words to describe my feelings towards Chong Wei. But, there's a song by Pramli, Di Mana Kan Ku Cari Ganti. And I don't think, for many years to come, we will not be able to have a great player like Chong Wei. Thank you, Chong Wei, for your contribution.
Dato' Lee, as a singles player, was the fourth Malaysian player after Rashid Siddiq, Roslin Hashim and Wong Chun Han to rank first worldwide, and is the only Malaysian shuttler to hold the #1 ranking for more than a year. He is also a triple silver medalist at the Olympic Games and the sixth Malaysian to win an Olympic medal. He won his first silver medal in 2008, also the first time a Malaysian had reached the finals in the men's singles event. This achievement earned him the title Dato' and led to the government describing him as a national hero. He repeated the achievement twice more in 2012 and 2016, thus making him the most successful Malaysian Olympian in history. Thank you, Dato' Lee, for everything that you have done for the country. Now let's hop on to our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. US singer-songwriter Justin Bieber became the talk of Twitter town as he challenged Hollywood star Tom Cruise to a fight on Sunday. There were no response from any of their representatives, but netizens are surely having a field day on this sudden and bizarre tweet. Take a look at this story.
JB left Twitter users head-scratching with a surprising tweet calling out the 56-year-old actor, and nobody has a clue why. In a sea of hilarious replies, one user theorized that JB might have just watched Top Gun for the first time, thinking Cruise is 26. Another user made a meme reply to the Biebs that he should delete his tweet, hinting that this is a really bad idea. The tweet definitely blew up as it caught the eye of former UFC champion Conor McGregor, where he tweeted that he is totally down for it. Twitter users were then caught by a witty surprise as Tom Cruise impersonator, known as Not Tom Cruise, popped in the infamous thread with a personal message.
So I read your little tweet, and it had me howling. But you know what, though? I'll accept your challenge. I don't normally fight girls, but I'll make an exception. Justine Bieber.
Even Not Tom Cruise didn't get any response from the Biebs, but that doesn't stop him from gearing up for the showdown.
Now, if you ever do gain the courage to fight me,
Moving on, approved foreign direct investments, FDIs, into Malaysia for the first quarter of 2019 soared 73.4% to 29.3 billion ringgit from 16.9 billion ringgit recorded during the same period a year ago. In a statement today, the Finance Ministry said this as Malaysia is benefiting from the tax and investment diversions due to the trade war between the United States and China. It also said the rise in overall approved FDIs in Q1 2019 was driven by a surge in investments in the manufacturing sector, which rose 127% to 20.2 billion ringgit, compared with 8.9 billion ringgit a year ago. Out of the 20.2 billion ringgit of approved FDIs in the sector, 11.5 billion ringgit were from the US, 4.4 billion ringgit from China, followed by 2.2 billion ringgit from Singapore. The ministry added the FDIs were expected to create more than 41,200 jobs for Malaysians. When we return, Hong Kong government shuts offices after rally turns violent. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Hong Kong authorities have shut government offices in the city's financial district for the rest of the week after a day of violence over an extradition bill that would allow people to be sent to mainland China for trial. Authorities reported that at least 72 people were hospitalized since the riot began, 2 of which were in serious condition. But what started calm in the day after seems short-lived as thousands of protesters readied in the region for more potential clashes with police.
Hong Kong fell silent in the morning and previously blocked streets were reopened as sanitary workers cleaned piles of trash of broken goggles, bottles and umbrellas. Apart from office closures, the government had also cancelled a debate on the controversial extradition law due on Thursday. But small groups of defiant protesters remained, attempting to reclaim crucial areas. Others appeared to be restocking riot tools and looking for places to hide protective equipment and other supplies. The group then gained in size from around 20 to a few thousand as the day progressed. The extradition bill, which will cover Hong Kong residents and foreign and Chinese nationals living or travelling through the city, has sparked concerns it may threaten the rule of law that underpins Hong Kong's international financial status. However, the territory's chief executive, Carrie Lam, believes that the government has been doing the right thing from the beginning. In a video released by a government news service recently, Lam said she did not and will not sell out Hong Kong. She also said that she acknowledges the controversy of the extradition law, but disagreed with the methods protesters were using. Now, sources say that protesters are worried that the government is using the announcement on the delay of debate as a ruse to throw off demonstrators. Some plan to stop lawmakers in favour of the bill from entering the Legislative Council if the debate was to commence, which protesters say would definitely spark another round of violence.
Now, as demonstrators go on standby to riot against the upcoming debate on the Hong Kong government's extradition bill, calls have been put out to their friends and acquaintances via Facebook and Instagram to join the protests. Social media has played an important role in the anti-government protests over the past few days, with protesters planning their rallies and alerting activities on the ground, as well as information on where to find resources like gas masks and drinking water. Encrypted platforms like Telegram and WhatsApp are also being used on a large scale. Telegram even suffered a powerful worldwide distributed denial of service (DDoS) attack for an hour during Wednesday's protest, with the company's CEO saying that the IP addresses traced back to China in an apparent effort to sabotage the protests. There was also an hour-long live stream on Twitter-owned service Periscope. Twitch, an online platform that hosts video gaming-related live streams, also had content about the Hong Kong protests. In Hong Kong, services like Google, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram are all freely available, but blocked in mainland China by the country's so-called Great Firewall, which limits access to information online for the people in mainland China due to control by the Chinese government. Now, a Thai boat captain has been charged with smuggling 65 Rohingya Muslims from Myanmar after their vessel was shipwrecked off Thailand's southern coast. The same area was the hub of multi-million-dollar trafficking route, which unraveled in 2015 after the discovery of mass graves of Rohingya migrants along the border with Malaysia. Police said on Thursday the boat, which was carrying the stateless Rohingya minority and was found on Tuesday on an island off the coast of Satun province, was captained by Sakon Papan, a Thai from nearby Ranong province. According to the Thai National Police Office, he was hired to transport the Rohingya to Malaysia and has been charged with smuggling in illegal immigrants. Its Police General Suchart Tirasawat said the captain was paid 100,000 baht, or about $3,200 by a Myanmar man, and authorities are still interrogating him. The 65 people, including women and children, are currently being detained in a police camp in Satun province. However, it was not immediately clear if the 65 Rohingyas discovered were coming from Myanmar or Bangladesh, where more than 1 million of the minority languish in refugee camps. Yemen's Houthi rebels attacked an airport in southern Saudi Arabia on Wednesday. A total of 26 civilian passengers of different nationalities were injured by the projectile, including 3 women and 2 Saudi children. According to Houthi officials, this was in retaliation for the continued aggression and blockade against Yemen by the coalition led by Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. The alliance, in response to the attack, has vowed stern action against the Houthis following the incident.
The missile hit the arrivals hall of the Abha International Airport, about 200 kilometers north of the border of Yemen, at about 2:20 a.m. local time, striking passers-by and damaging the airport lounge. 8 people were taken to hospital while most were treated on site. Arab and Gulf countries have all condemned the assault by the Iran-backed Houthis, which was denounced as criminal and dangerous and one of the worst attacks by the Yemeni rebels against civilian areas in the kingdom. The incident comes as the latest escalation of a conflict that threatens to further strain relations between Iran and the United States, which is allied with the Saudis and the UAE. However, Iran, which had been blamed by the attacks on Saudi soil, has persistently denied arming the Houthis.
That's all for 7Edition this evening. With that, I'm Shafika Razali. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Good night.